Hi everyone, and welcome to this talk about layers of meaning in Catalan Sign Language indefinites. So this study is the result of a joint research between the three people you have in the slide. Gemma Barberà, who is now giving a parallel presentation in Catalan Sign Language, Patricia Cabredo Hofherr, and myself, Raquel Veiga. So, indefinite expressions in sign languages have been analyzed, focusing mainly on the manual and the spatial components of such expressions, that is, on the manual sign selected and on the location in which the sign is articulated within the signing space. Now, in the current study, we integrate the non-manual component into the analysis of indefinite expressions in Catalan Sign Language, and we investigate the combinations of those three components, manual, spatial, and non-manual, in connection with the evidential properties associated with the indefinite. And the evidential properties considered in our study are the following. First, we consider evidentiality, which is the source of evidence the speaker has for a proposition, namely whether the source of the information is visual, reported, inferred, etc. And second, we consider epistemicity, which refers to the level of a speaker's certainty or ignorance regarding the truth of the proposition or the identity of the referent. When it comes to indefinite uses, we can consider two different dimensions, one of which is scope, which distinguishes specific versus non-specific uses of indefinites. In the specific uses, the existence of the referent is presupposed. We find an example in the slide in the sentence, someone came to talk to you. By contrast, in non-specific uses, the existence of the referent is not presupposed. An example of which could be, if someone comes to talk to me, let me know. A second dimension concerns epistemicity, which, as we have just mentioned, refers to whether the speaker is able or unable to identify the referent of the indefinite. So, for a sentence such as someone came to talk to you, if the speaker knows the identity of the referent, the sentence could be continued by something like, guess who? And in the unknown scenario, the sentence could be continued as follows. Someone came to talk to you, but I don't know who he was, or I forgot to take his name. As you can see, English uses the indefinite someone for the three functions that result of combining these two dimensions. That is, specific known, specific unknown, and non-specific, for which the dimension epistemicity is not really relevant. So in English, these different interpretations of the indefinite someone are said to be inferences. It has been observed that, like English someone, indefinites in many languages cover more than one function. This is illustrated in the image in the slide, which is from Haspelmath's typology of spoken language indefinites. And in the image, we can observe that the indefinite determiner some covers, among others, the functions specific known, specific unknown, and non-specific. And the same would hold for the indefinite pronoun someone. However, there are languages in which these three meanings are conventionalized. So, unlike English, some languages have specialized forms for one or more of the indefinite uses we've been discussing. In the current study, we focused on indefinites used for human reference. So forms like English someone, no one, anyone, etc. And we studied the combination of markers used in sentences containing different uses of indefinites. But for comparison, we also investigated sentences without indefinites in which the signer expresses different degrees of certainty and different sources of knowledge. And ultimately, our goal is to determine whether different indefinite functions are conventionalized in Catalan Sign Language, and if so, by which component or components. The data for this study was collected from 5 deaf signers of Catalan Sign Language using a combination of direct elicitation techniques. These included, among others, felicity judgments, contextualized productions, and descriptions. And to determine whether source of knowledge, so evidentiality, and level of certainty, that is, epistemicity, to determine whether those two aspects correlated with the specific combinations of manual, spatial, and non-manual elements, we also examine the different dimensions of meaning that evidentials might encode, which have been described in the work by Mathewson 2020. So basically, in the elicitations, we discussed whether the productions were compatible with the different evidential restrictions. And once we got the data, we annotated it with ELAN. As you can see in the slide, we had a total of 21 tiers, 9 of which were specific for nominal markers. Today we'll focus only on one of the non-manual markers that we've annotated, and this is the position of the corners of the mouth. To give you an idea of the kind of questions we address for each non-manual marker, we are interested in understanding what's the status of the non-manuals that occur with indefinite. So basically, whether or not the non-manuals are lexically specified. And second, we are interested in understanding what's the exact contribution, if any, of the nominal marker to the meaning of the indefinite. And in our presentation, we'll be claiming that with respect to this status, the nominal marker position of the corners of the mouth is not part of the phonology of the indefinite, and with respect to its contribution, in one of its values, the non-manual corners of the mouth, particularly with the value down, corners of the mouth down, is a marker of ignorance on the part of the speaker. But before coming to our claims, let me first give you some background information about the manual component and the use of the signing space in Catalan Sign Language indefinites. With respect to the manual component, we found a huge variety of manual signs in the person category, and many of those signs are actually compounds. However, this variety may be reduced to the main strategies discussed in Haspelmann's typology of indefinites. This means that indefinite signs in Catalan Sign Language may be morphologically similar to the numeral 1, to the generic noun person, and to the question word who. And notice that the 3 signs you have in the slide were all used as indefinites to mean something like someone in English. One may wonder whether each of the signs corresponds to a specific function. Or to put it differently, if there are conventionalized indefinite forms for the different functions mentioned earlier. We have observed that the sign person is multifunctional, so it occurs across all three functions. And in the non-specific function, all three signs are possible. On the other hand, the signs who and wang, when performed with a circular movement, are not used in the specific known function. However, some compounds that include those signs are possible, such as one person. And for the specific unknown function, these two signs, who and one, differ depending on the type of information the signer lacks about the referent, whether it is the name, whether it is visual evidence, so the signer cannot point at the referent, etc. Therefore, there are not conventionalized manual forms for the different indefinite functions, but we do observe some restrictions on the use of the indefinites glossed as who and one in the specific known and specific unknown functions. Regarding the signing space, previous research on Catalan Sign Language has already shown that high loci are part of the indefinite and they are used only when the indefinite has a specific unknown or a non-specific function. So now let's go back to our first claim. We have observed that the non-manual marker position of the corners of the mouth is not part of the phonology of the indefinite sign. The evidence we provide is that systematically in our data, this non-manual takes wider scope than the manual indefinite. In the series of stills you have in the slide for a sentence that translates as someone I don't know greeted me, you can observe that this nominal marker, which we gloss as CD for corners down, scopes over the first two signs corresponding to the indefinite someone and the classifier person approaching. It is not present during the production of the sign greet, and it is used again with the signs I and know not. With respect to the contribution of the non-manual marker, we have observed that the value of this non-manual distinguishes whether the identity of the referent is known or unknown to the speaker. So it marks epistemic specificity. On the slide, you have the use of the same indefinite sign, person. In the first case, use with a corners neutral, could be as well with a smile, and it is used for a known referent. And in the second case, we have the same sign produced with corners down, encoding that the referent is not known to the signer. Additional evidence that the non-manual marker corners down signals epistemic specificity is provided by the fact that non-specific uses are not produced with this non-manual. In the slide, we have a couple of sentences in which the indefinite is non-specific. The first sentence translates as I must hire someone who knows sign language, and the second as someone might come. And in the two cases, the indefinite is non-specific and the non-manual marker corners down is not used. Interestingly, there are languages in which indefinites may trigger ignorance but also indifference effects. And in Catalan Sign Language, corners down is exceptionally used in a specific known contexts to express indifference. So that the signer does not care about the identity of the referent or considers that information irrelevant. So in the slide, you can observe that the same markers are used when the speaker is ignorant and indifferent with respect to the identity of the referent. So for the sentence that means I invited someone for dinner, and the first still, we observe the no manual corners down to express that the signer does not know the identity of the referent, and this was produced in a context in which he invited someone through an app for dinner, but he didn't know the person yet. And in the second still, we have the same no manual to encode that the signer does not consider relevant to inform the addressee about the identity of the referent. Now, with this background, we want to go back to our second claim. That is, that corners down marks uncertainty on the part of the speaker, and not only that the speaker is unable to identify the referent. And this is based on the following evidence. The marker corners down occurs with signs denoting lack of knowledge, such as find out and say or do not know, or with palm ups. But actually, it may also occur in sentences without any such signs to convey speaker's uncertainty. Let's see an example. So you are going to watch a video, first normal speed and after in slow motion. And this video was elicited with a picture in which the signer was shown an empty space in a zoo where lions were supposed to be. And he was asked, where are the lions? And the answer he gave corresponds to the video you are about to watch, which translates as, I don't know, they disappeared, they're gone. Notice that there are no indefinites in this sentence, but still we have corners down scoping over the entire production. Let's see the video. As you can see in the slide, the combination of spatial locations and the position of the corners of the mouth results in the encoding of the three indefinite uses we've discussed before. Specifically, the value of mouth is typically a smile in specific known cases, and in addition to that, there is no high articulation of the sign. Specific unknown uses are marked by corners down and typically a high articulation of the sign, except if the referent is present and the speaker can point at this location. And finally, non-specific uses are marked with a high articulation of the sign but no corners down. They are typically either stretched or neutral. Before concluding, we would like to make a third claim. If you remember from the beginning, we considered the interaction of the marking of indefiniteness with different sources of knowledge. In our study, we found that no manual markers are independent of evidential restrictions, even that the same markers are compatible with different sources of evidence, such as sensory infer reports. Let's see one example of this. In the video you have in the slide that I'm about to play now, we have the sentence, a person has fallen down, someone hit him. And this production is judged to be compatible with contexts in which the signer has seen the hitting event, with context in which the signer infers the hitting event, and with context in which the signer has been told that there was a hitting event. So the same noun manuals are compatible with all three scenarios. Contrary to the case of non-manual markers, evidence type influences the choice of the manual sign, typically affecting whether plural marking is used or omitted. And in particular, if the signer has visual evidence, plural marking is rarely used unless the context already includes plural reference. And when the evidence is an inference of the signer, we mostly found plural marked indefinites. So to sum up, we have observed that each component, manual, spatial, and non-manual, has a contribution to the interpretation of the indefinite. The manual component is subject to both epistemic and evidential restrictions. On the other hand, the spatial component distinguishes specific known uses from the rest, which are characterized by producing the sign in a high location. And finally, the non-manual marker corners down signals ignorance, and therefore epistemicity. And finally, the non-manual corners down in Catalan Sign Language, as we've just said, marks ignorance on the part of the speaker more generally, so it is an epistemic marker. And uncertainty marking is independent of the source of the knowledge, therefore, corners down is purely epistemic without evidential restrictions. And finally, uncertainty marking is not associated with the manual indefinite, but marked widely as a property of the clause. Okay, so that was all. Thank you all for your attention. And we would also like to thank our Catalan Sign Language consultants and the agencies that funded this research.